President declared the suspension of all classes noong March 2020. Dahil dito, napilitan tayong mag-cope at mag-adjust sa new mode of learning, stripping us of our university lives in exchange for safety from the virus. And because of this change, hindi na natin ulit naranasan ang university life, pati na rin ang mga events na lagi nating pinag-uusapan at excited tayong mapuntahan. Kung Thamasian ka, hindi na natin ulit na-experience ang masayang Paskuhan. Kung iska ka naman, paano na yung UP Fair? At kung saan ka man nag-enroll, sure ako miss mo na din lahat ng tradisyon at kultura sa loob ng university mo. And speaking of these festivities, join me here today as we talk about the cultures and traditions that we certainly have missed since last year. Welcome to Unify. I am your host, AC Jimenez, as we will later talk with a Thamasian and an Iska in learning more about their respective university cultures and traditions. Pero paano na kaya ang ating mga freshies na hindi pa ito nararanasan? So don't worry freshies, cause we got you covered. Dito sa Unify, we'll make sure na mapapadama namin sa inyo ang totoong buhay ng isang Tomasino. Kaya kahit nasaan ka man ngayon, balikan natin ang Metro Manila dahil ang aming mga guests ay manggagaling sa iba't ibang universities. But before we proceed, we would be having a quick break, so stay tuned. And also don't forget to follow us on our social media accounts. That's at R208 Productions on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We will be right back, so please keep yourselves clean, sanitized, and always wear your masks. It has been more than a year since we have shifted to online learning. Now, a lot of university cultures and traditions have been missed by our students, most especially the freshies, who have yet to experience these on campus. I am AC, and today in UNI we are with Claire Mendoza from UST and Eunice Helera from UP. Hello, Claire and Eunice. Thank you so much for joining us today. Before anything else, I would just like to ask, kamusta kayo guys? What have you been up to? How are your ACADS?
Ngayon, sobrang tambak. Like, from break kasi, tas medyo naurong. So, medyo natambakan ng schoolwork.
I think sa akin, same din. Lalo na, it's our midterm season kasi we started a bit late. So, ayun, tambak din kami. And then, parang with the reading break, there's no really a reading break. Parang mas lalong dumadagdag yung requirements. And
Claire and Eunice, let's reminisce back to your freshie days. Can you tell us about the first time you stepped on campus? Yung experience nyo, how was it? What was your first impression upon entering the university?
Pero when I first entered the university back then, enrollment done and walang gaanong tao. And I remember walking along the Lover's Lane at peace talaga. Kasi it's so serene, tapos I'm surrounded with a lot of greens. And that's something that you cannot just easily get in Manila, diba? But what really made an impression for me is, of course, as a food lover, yung car park talaga. Kasi, alam mo, hindi ka talaga magugutom. Like, ang dami nating varieties, mapamura man and mapamahal. So, yun, with the campus itself and the food, I knew then na I'd enjoy talaga my stay in the university. And I'm also blessed to have met good people along the way.
so, when I stepped into UP, halong kaba. Tapos, at the same time, parang it seems so surreal pa din na parang hindi mo pa maisip na nakapasok ka dito, ganun.
Yeah, I think, lahat naman, hindi man lahat, most of us, lalo na nung freshies pa tayo, lahat tayo na-overwhelmed. Now, let's talk about culture shock. What is the biggest thing that really shocked you as a freshman when you entered the university? Like, what was your parang biggest shock moment? Was it the traffic? Was it the people, the workload?
Sa akin, na-shock ako sa workload and sa way of teaching ng mga professors. Kasi sa workload, parang even though it sounds like 15 units, ganon, parang first day pa lang binabagsak na sa inyo up until the very end of the semester, as in until your final project, binabagsak na sa inyo. Isa sa mga na-culture shock ako, yung way of education na discourse. Feeling ko parang gera. May gera ka lagi, lalo na pag mga discursive subjects, gano'n.
Ako naman, kagaya ni Eunice, yung workload din. Kasi in my college, parang nag-iba yung curriculum namin. Like, ang nangyari na lang nun is we took everything one day at a time. Tapos, laban ulit bukas.
Pero at least, na-enjoy naman natin yung kahit short time na experience natin yung parang pagka-culture shock natin, di ba? Okay, now we have already talked about culture. Let's talk about tradition naman. Do you guys have any memorable experience of a university tradition in your college life?
When it comes to official tradition, syempre yung agape and Paskuhan talaga are on top of the list. But when it comes to my friends, or feel ko sa buong UST naman, yung hog culture talaga, yung pinaka nami-miss ko. Like, yung we randomly hug each other para kapag mag-good morning or kapag nakikita mong down yung isa, parang hug mo lang siya, ganun. And ang ganda lang ng culture na yon kasi walang judgment or anything. Talagang pure and heartfelt hug.
Parang sa amin, parang medyo mahirap sabihin ko dahil may hug culture din kami. Yung sa UP, parang it's an open fair, catering, parang OPM. We also begin, because parang it's stand with the farmers, stand with the lumad, stand with the parang mga people from the workers and all. So parang it's always na parang UP is welcoming people from the outside and to also educate them. Other than that, yung isang tradition pa, we have what we call kapihan, which is kapihan is parang pag midterms, pag finals, there are places in UP na open on 24 hours, and then for 24 hours parang every interval may mga libreng pachampurado, libreng palugaw, and then it's like this co-working spaces na lahat ng tao nag-aaral, and then yung mga nag-tutor, gano'n. Yun nga, sabi ko walang hug culture sa UP. So in kapihan, dun mo makakamit ka ng mga tao na mag-aaral din, mga nakakasama sa table, and then you get to meet them, you get to talk to them, and parang I think that's where you get the sense of belongingness kasi lahat kayo, pare-pares kayong stress.
Okay, ngayon naman, as we all know, being part of an org is, one of the must-have experiences sa college. Just let me just ask, are you guys part of any organization, whether just college-wide or university-wide, and how is your experience so far? Do you recommend your fellow Tomasians and Iska to join or be a part of an org?
Yes, I'm a part of an org. I'm part of UP Cinema Arts Society. So I think for ISKAs, one thing that I would really recommend is you have to have your organization when you're inside UP. Lalo na, yun nga, I've said we don't have blocks, so wala kang friends talaga. I mean, if pre-pandemic wise, I only made 2 friends in my classes. And at the end of the day, you have your organization waiting for you at your tambayan, at your organization's place, gano'n. Parang org is a breather din natin to bukod sa pag-aaral. And yun nga, social life kasi siya sa UP. So it's really essential, I would say, that you get to have your solid group of friends, and that's in the organization.
So ako naman, I've been part of the logistics committee pre-pandemic ng FPSC. Like kami yung nag-aayos ng behind the scenes, yung ng props, ng stages, gano'n. And kaya nga may mantra kami na Logi Strong kasi kami taga-buhat ng chair and kami din yung taga-ligpit. So, yes, if you would ask me, I recommend joining organization, especially kung face-to-face na.
Ayan, kakaiba talaga ang org life. So, ayun, few questions pa lang yon, pero ang dami ko nang nalaman and parang bumalik na ako sa pagiging freshie. So now, the big question is, what remains to be an identity of your school for you, even if everything is now online? Ano yung tatak UP or tatak UST na nafe-feel nyo pa rin kahit online classes na lang muna sa ngayon?
For me, yung Tomasian spirit pa rin na nagsistrive for excellence and being compassionate at the same time, lalo na ngayon na pandemic. Parang sa nakikita ko kasi, sympathy tsaka teamwork talaga yung nagpo-push us through para mag-survive ng SEM na to or nung online classes. And even our profs, nakikita namin na talagang they're exerting effort talaga just to give quality education kahit sila mismo hirap din. Feel ko we are still connected, not just by the education that we received from it, but also as one Tomasian community.
I think for us, I think until now, kahit we all shifted back in the online setting, parang nakita mo pa rin, nag-heed pa din sila ng call, nag-social media rally, protest pa din sila online, and hindi kinakalimot yung mga nangyayari, especially ngayon, napakadaming issues na nangyayari, and hindi lang naman sa labas ang laban, parang may ganun pa rin pagtingin ng mga estudyante. So, ganun yung isa pa sa mga bagay na hindi mawawala kahit online classes.
Ayan, thank you again for your answers. I think naman kahit anong university mo pa, no, lahat ng mga students ngayon na nasa online class nakaka-relate sa mga sinabi nyo. Alright, again, thank you very, very much, Claire and Eunice, for sharing your university life with us. I'm sure our audience has gained insights and have learned a lot, and mas lalo kaming na-excite to get back to our respective universities. So, that is it for UniLife, but don't go away because we still have with Dani when we come back only here on Unify.
And we are back. I am Dania Tongol, and we are still with Claire and Eunice to join us here for another segment. This is It's just so amazing to know more about the similarities and differences between the two universities, hindi ba? Pero hindi pa doon natatapos ang lahat, because we prepared a minigame for you guys to end this on a fun note. Simple lang naman ang game. I'll ask 10 questions with choices to make it easier for you. Now, all you have to do is to write the letter of your answers sa papers na hawak nyo. The first 5 questions are university related, while the next 5 are just general questions. So, are you guys ready?
Yes.
All right, simulan na natin. For our first question, in the 2019 hit movie Alone Together, starring Liza Soberano and Enrique Hill, who among them portrayed as a student from UP Diliman? Is it A, Liza Soberano, or B, Enrique Hill? I'll give you guys 5 seconds each to answer the question and to write down your answer, okay? In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Can you show me your answers? Okay, and the correct answer is A, Liza Soberano. You both got it right. Great job. Liza is actually an ista in the movie, and alam nyo ba, to prepare for her role, she interviewed some UP students as well as attended classes. Now, are you guys ready for our second question? How many participating schools are there in UAAP? Is it A, 7, B, 8, or C, 9? Again, 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Show me your answers. B. Okay, and the correct answer is B, 8. Okay, there are actually 8 participating schools in UAAP. It's Adamson, Ateneo, DLSU, FEU, MU, UE, UP, and UST. And for our third university-related question, in which university did Henry C. finish his bachelor's degree? Is it A, National University, B, Far Eastern University, or C, De La Salle University? Again, in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And the correct answer is B. It's Far Eastern University. I'm so sorry, guys. None of you got the right point. Henry C. actually graduated from FEU with a degree in Associate of Arts in Commercial Studies in 1950. For our next question, what university has its theme named Soaring Falcons? Is it A, Adamson University, B, University of the East, or C, National University? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Show me your answer.
Adamson.
And the correct answer is A, Adamson University. Congrats, guys! Now, the Adamson Soaring Falcons are actually the collegiate men's varsity teams of Adamson University that plays in the UAAP. Okay, and for our next question, Nika Reyes, a famous UAAP volleyball player, graduated from which university? Is it A, University of the Philippines, B, Ateneo de Manila University, or C, De La Salle University? Again, in 5, 4,
3, 2, and 1. Show me your answers.
Dalasal.
C! Yes, Dalasal University. Siyempre, sikat na sikat pa naman si Nika Reyes. Okay, both of you got the right answer. And of course, Nika Reyes was part of the DLSU Lady Spikers champion teams of UAAP Season 74, 75, and Season 78. Nanonood din ba kayo ng mga volleyball games sa UAAP?
Yes, pag may time. Pag hindi bombard.
Who was the first Filipina to win the Miss Universe title in 1969? Is it A. Margarita Moran, B. Gloria Diaz, or C. Gemma Cruz? Again in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Show me your answers. It's D. Gloria Diaz. Congrats, guys. You both got the right answer. Now, Gloria Diaz is the first Filipina to become the Miss Universe on July 19, 1969 at the age of 18. For our next question, how many fruits and vegetables are mentioned in the well-known Filipino children's song, Bahay Kubo? Is it A, 16, B, 17, or C, 18? Again in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, the correct answer is C, 18. There are actually 18 fruits and vegetables mentioned in this song. What is the oldest city in the Philippines? Is it A, Manila, B, Cebu, or C, Davao? Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Answers up. And the correct answer is B, Cebu. Okay. Congrats, Eunice. It is also known as the oldest settlement established by the Spaniards in the country. Okay, guys. And for our next question, what festival is celebrated in Calibo, Aklan during the month of January? Is it A, Ati-Atihan Festival, B, Dinogyang Festival, or C, Sinulog Festival? Again in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Show me your answers. A and B. The correct answer is A. You got it right, Eunice. No, how about you, Eunice? How did you guess the right answer?
Parang Kalibo is known as for the ati-atihan. So, babang di ba pag sa mga history mga ano natin, mga AP class.
Congrats, Eunice. And actually, the Ati-Atihan Festival is the oldest festival in the Philippines. Celebrated every second week of January in Calibo, Aklan. And for our next question, are you guys ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. In what province can you find the Barasuwain Church? Is it A, Pampanga, B, Batangas, or C, Bulacan? Again, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Show me your answers. A and C. And the correct answer is C, Bulacan. Congrats again, Eunice. Grabe, traveler ka ba? At alam mo yung mga ay, joke lang. Sorry. Okay, it's not pala. It's Claire. I'm so sorry. Claire, ikaw, paano?
Yes, I live in Bulacan.
Ooh, famous ba siya dyan sa Bulacan?
Yeah. I think maganda kasi siya. So, pinupuntahan siya ng people and lalo na every Sunday, syempre, church time.
Congrats, Claire. And the Barasuwain Church nga is a Roman Catholic church built in Malolos, Bulacan. And it took 3 years to finish its construction from 1885 to 1888. Okay, guys. At dito na natatapos ang ating game. Medyo nakakabitin pero malay nyo, may susunod pa, hindi ba? So out of 10 questions, Claire got a score of 7 and Eunice got a score of 8. Which means ang nanalo ay si Eunice from University of the Philippines. Congrats, Eunice! Congrats.
Thank you.
But of course, at the end of this segment, both of you can be considered as winners pa rin for being sports and fun all throughout the game. And I am definitely sure na nag-enjoy din ang ating audience dahil sa inyo. So let's give yourselves a round of applause naman dyan. Congrats, both of you. Thank you so much, Claire and Eunice. We are glad to have you joining us here, and we hope you guys had fun. Once again, I am your segment host, Danny, and this is You Know.
And that was it. Thank you, Danny, for that fun-filled segment that brings us a breath of fresh air from all the academic works we've all been doing, and for giving our guests, Claire and Eunice, a wonderful visit here at Unify. Sobrang competitive talaga ng ating mga university students. I hope you had fun hanging out with us today here at Unify. So, na-identify niyo ba ang differences between UP and UST? If yes, then that means you have been unified. At sana, lagi natin tandaan na kahit face-to-face o online classes man tayo, we should always carry out our university cultures and traditions to keep our university spirit alive. So, here's to hoping that someday everything will go back to normal and ma-experience ng ating mga freshies ang totoong buhay ng isang university student. So again, thank you, Claire and Eunice. And before we go, don't forget to follow us on our socials, like and share at R208 Productions on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If you're watching us live on Facebook, give us a comment down below on which university you would like to see in the next episodes and what you would want to know about them. Type them below with the hashtag #unified and we'll hear you out. Once again, I'm your host, AC Jimenez, signing off, and we'll see you next week, only here on Unify.